Traders, how are you? Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy, co-founder of SpeedUp Trader, where you guys can come and apply to use our money with accounts starting at $25,000. Today, we're going to be doing a video on why it's going to get a whole lot cheaper to start learning how to trade. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm gonna throw this video up on the Wandering Trader, I guess my personal YouTube, the one that I normally do travel stuff on. I know some of you guys have asked me about my trading stuff. So if you guys don't know what I do or how I do it, but I've been in the financial industry for I think almost 18 years now. Yeah, going on 18. Learning how to trade, actually trading, teaching people how to trade. Over the last 10 years, I've had Day Trading Academy where we teach people how to trade. And then we just launched a company called SpeedUp Trader last year in October. And the idea with this is, instead of just teaching people how to trade, the idea is to kind of vertically integrate, right? So you guys can learn how to trade, but then trade our money instead of actually trading with yours. So there's a few different moving pieces here that I want to kind of tell you guys. In order to learn how to trade, there's a few things that you need, right? You have to learn, whether it's with a guru or a course or an academy, right? And then you need literally a computer, and then you need money to trade. It's that simple. So computer, you don't need a rocket scientist computer. You don't need like this thing. I've had this thing for like 7 years. I will never let it go. This thing fell in water. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, but it literally fell into a pool. Or no, I was getting out of the pool. The water, when you get out, it went all over the screen. Stopped working for about a week, and then it went back to normal. So I would never let this thing go, especially since it has Windows 7. I hate Windows 10. So that would be the first thing. So you don't need a super fancy computer. I would say anything like $500, $400. The processor doesn't matter. The size of the computer doesn't matter. I would say a minimum of 15 inches. If you have another screen, then it doesn't matter. The hard drive doesn't matter. The video card doesn't matter either. The only thing that really matters is the RAM on the computer. For most of you guys that are in the US, won't have a problem, right? So that's great. For all other guys that are in other countries like the Philippines or some other emerging economies, we can't say third world anymore. Other emerging economies, Brazil or Indonesia, where all you guys are located, the traders in DTA, it's something standard, $400 or $500 is fine. So that's the first thing, the computer. Then after that, obviously you need to learn how to trade. However you guys want to do it, you want to come over to Day Trading Academy, that's great. If you want to learn with somebody, but you have to learn somehow, right? Then you learn, and then normally, in order to trade your own money, you would generally need, I would say, anywhere between $500 to $1,000, minimum. You would probably need a little bit more of a cushion on top of that due to the fact that, there's no secret, but the majority of people in the beginning actually lose money, right? So I'm going to show you something here. Esteban, come here for a second. I'm gonna show you guys something here. These are the results of the guys that are actually trading accounts. There's a guy named Fernando. I don't know if you guys can see this here. He's made $10,000 already. You guys can see there on a funded account, which means he's trading real money. There's another guy here that went live. There's just another one that's funded. He didn't place any trades yet. So obviously, there he is. See, he just went live. Omar, you guys can see here it's a funded account, and he's made overall 35 bucks. He's been trading a little bit of fear. So the idea behind this is most people in the beginning lose money trading. Most people don't want to admit it. I think most of you guys that are going to go and venture into this kind of arena, you're going to see all these millionaire traders, quote unquote, with their Ferraris and things like that. That's not my vibe and my kind of belief about the world. I don't think money is the most important thing in the world, right? So I always say you don't need to have $1 million in order to live a good life, especially if you guys want to travel the world like I've been doing over the last 10, 11, 12 years. If you guys don't know, I'm based in Medellin, Colombia. I'm going to try to do a lot more videos on Medellin, because since you guys have been asking for it. So the idea now is that, well, instead of having to open up an account for $500 or $1,000 or more, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, you can literally come to a company like SpeedUp Trader and you guys can learn how to trade with somebody else's money. So the process of the way that it works is the smaller accounts that we have are $120 for a $25,000 account, or let's say $25,000 buying power, right, up to that amount, because we do have limits. And then we have 50,000, 100, and then in the future we're going to open the 150 and 250 as well. And the idea behind this is, well, if the majority of us, because I've blown plenty of accounts, right, if the majority of us in the beginning lose money, it would be a lot better to go apply to use someone else's money for $150 or $120 and not lose an account of $1,000, $2,000. And with that, we can pay the 120. This is amazing because this business model is incredible because it literally allows us to not lose as much money in the beginning. So you can take the $120 test for the $25,000 account. If you don't pass it, well, you can go back and keep practicing. And instead of blowing $1,000, $2,000 account, then you can come in and pay just $120 for the test. So that's amazing because the idea behind this now is, I think there's a lot of hedge funds or let's say prop firms that actually give their money to people and they train people to be able to trade. But now we, the Day Trading Academy, are the only academy to be able to actually offer that. So imagine, I could just imagine when I was 17, 18 years old learning how to trade, somebody would tell me, hey, yeah, you can learn how to trade this and then we're going to give you the opportunity to trade $25,000, $50,000 account. I mean, it's amazing. So that's one thing, right? So now you literally get started for just $120. If you want a bigger account, obviously it's different. I think the 50,000 account is $150, and then the $300 for the 150 account or the 100 account. Other than that, there's something new that's coming out, hopefully at the end of the year. So if you guys know the company called TD Ameritrade in the United States, it's a huge bank / brokerage. And there was a platform that they bought that they primarily use now that's called Thinkorswim. The guys who developed Thinkorswim went out and started another company, which is a brokerage, and these guys are options trader mostly. So then they opened up their own brokerage, and now they've applied to actually open up their own exchange, and this is huge. So in the industry that I'm in futures, generally you can learn how to trade for free, but then eventually when you open up an account, the problem is that they want to charge you a lot in the data fees and the monthly fees and things like that, right? So the problem is that we have a situation where we can learn for free in the beginning at any time of the day, right? We can learn how to trade at 9, 10 o'clock at night, but then we still are kind of stuck with a lot of these fees. Well, the small exchange is going to want to change that. So you guys know that the internet is literally revolutionizing everything that we do. Uber is changing the way we transport. Airbnb, the way we stay at accommodations, is just revolutionizing Turo is killing the car rental industry. I personally always use Turo now because it's amazing. If you guys don't know what it is, Turo is like the Airbnb of cars. You rent a car directly from someone, they come to the curb. It's amazing. Like, forget renting from Avis or Amscot and all that stuff. From your cell phone and app, you take pictures, you select everything, boom, 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 super simple. So now these guys are going to want to open up what's called the small exchange. And the idea behind the small exchange is they have all standardized products. So if you guys don't know much about kind of learning how to trade or the actual financial markets, if you're going to trade stocks compared to futures or options, the amount of money that you make is completely different based on the leverage. So futures and options are some of the highest leveraged products in the world due to the fact that they're just built that way. They generally have the E-mini futures, which I primarily teach, have a 50-to-1 leverage. So in other words, for every position that you make, if you make $1 in profit, that's $50 in profit. But if you lose it, obviously, right? Let's talk about both sides. You lose $50 in losses as well. So this is going to be amazing because they're going to drop, not only are they going to drop the fees that we're charged in order to trade, but they're going to have the capacity to be able to give competition to the actual exchange. So, kind of going back, during the Great Depression of 1929, there was a new rule instituted where it literally put a bridge, it put a wall in between the brokerages and the banks. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the rule off the top, but you guys can look it up on the internet. During Clinton's administration, Clinton actually removed that rule. It's a Glass-Steagall Act. It just came to me. So now brokers became banks, and then they combined. And the reason why that wall was placed in the beginning after the Great Depression is because they didn't want banks risking people's money, right? So they didn't want brokerages combining and then people actually risking people's savings. So government, you know, I'm not gonna, it's the right, it's the left, it's Obama, it's Clinton, it's Bush, it's Trump. It doesn't matter who it is. At the end of the day, in my opinion, it's the government. So the government removed that wall, and then they were able to combine. So this is why we had the crisis in 2008, 2009, because now they were playing with people's money and the financial system was gonna collapse. So now that everything's kind of merging together, the whole point of that kind of mini topic was that we've had a situation where a lot of the exchanges have been centralized and they've been becoming just these ginormous corporations. And the CME is the biggest exchange operator in the world, which is the futures exchange, right? You have everything from gold to oil to everything, the indices, options, almost everything goes through this exchange in the CME. And so now, with the small exchange actually launching, they've asked for approval in December from the regulators. The idea behind this now is that if they get approved, the costs are going to literally go to the floor for all of us, and they're actually going to create new products for us to be able to trade. So if you guys have always wanted to be able to try to learn how to trade or learn how to be able to make money, you know, I'm not going to sit here and talk about all the millions of dollars you can make, because unfortunately for the majority of us, that's not the way it works. You know, we lose money in the beginning. We have to be careful. We have to be disciplined little by little, right? At the end of the day, if you guys can replace your salary, if you guys can make an extra $100 a month, obviously that would be great, right? So for me, it's amazing, because when I started this business, you know, I took out $25,000 in student loans and I lost it in a month. So I definitely don't want you guys to be taking out student loans. You can't get them like before, right before the crisis, but I don't want you guys taking out money to kind of do something. Like a lot of you guys, for example, that went out and bought Bitcoin when it was at 15,000, you took out credit card debt and these mortgages on your houses and things. When I predicted the crash in December, right before it crashed, I can, you know, if you guys want to comment here in the video, I can send you that link. But absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing news, because now it's going to be much, much cheaper for you guys to be able to get started. If you guys want to do it with this new small exchange, hopefully it'll get approval. I think we'll know by probably August or September. And then we also have obviously SpeedUp Trader. So if you guys have always wanted to get started, you can go to speeduptrader.com. You guys can see how that works. Basically, you have to know how to trade first, right? Don't go and try to take the test without knowing. We primarily support futures right now. Very soon we're going to start supporting Forex. Hopefully CFDs. CFDs are illegal in the US, just so you know, so it'll be out of international customers outside the US, and then also stocks. That's going to be my big one that I want to get on. So super, super excited. We've had an enormous amount of success with all of our traders. You know, the Day Trading Academy now is literally like a multinational global thing all over Latin America. We got Brazil. Obviously, I'm based in Colombia. That's kind of where the Spanish operations are at. We got guys all over the US, Canada, Singapore, English side. And then now we got Dominic Toretto, if you're watching this video, Dominic over in the Philippines. That's going to help us there as well. So super, super excited. I think on this channel on Wandering Trader, or on this YouTube channel, you know, I guess I changed it to my name now. I'm going to start uploading a few more things about trading and things like that, because I've saw a lot of comments you guys want to see it. So super, super excited. It's going to be much cheaper for you guys to be able to get into this business, which is amazing for me, because it was like super expensive for me to be able to get started once I was in there. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll be happy to go ahead and answer them. If you guys want more information about the small exchanges, look it up. You know, small exchange on Google. They're waiting for the regulatory approval, which is called the CFTC. That's the entity that actually approves them. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to go ahead and answer any questions for you. And if you guys want to get started, you know, I wish you guys the best. I've had a lot of success with the traders that we have, and I look forward to I'll be able to help you guys get started. So let me know if you guys have any questions. You can put them with hashtag AskMarcello. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.